Hi, I'm Mitch Rankin, the co-founder of Forward Protocol. The crypto space is confusing, it's scary, and it's exciting all at once. And to the average person on the street, the crypto blockchain world sounds so complicated. All the different terminology and all the stuff we have to learn. Are we going to talk in layman's terms, in easy to understand language with Forward's main theme in mind, which is making blockchain easy to understand and easy for you to use in your businesses? So we're going to look at Web1, Web2 and Web3, which are all different, and see how they fit together and how they've evolved. Let's start at the beginning by looking at Web1. By now we know that Web1 refers to the first iteration of the web's evolution. And when Web1 started, there were only a few content creators, with most of the users being consumers of the content. Personal web pages were common, and in the whole were made up of static pages hosted on ISP-run web servers or on free web hosting services. And there were no adverts on Web1. In fact, they were initially banned on all services. Web1 was a content delivery network that enabled the user to showcase the information on a website. It had directories that enabled users to retrieve a particular piece of information on a particular website. And in Web1, the web processors were static pages that had content which was served from a server's file system. To actually create the web pages, frames and tables were used to position and align all the elements on a page. And then we obviously evolved into Web2. And Web2 is called the participative or the social web, and it refers to websites worldwide which highlight user-generated contents and usability and interoperability for the end users. So Web2 is actually an enhanced version of Web1. And here are some of the major features of Web2. I'll go through them very quickly. If you want some more information on any of them, please just let me know in the comments, and I'll create a video for you on whichever elements you need. It gives you a rich user experience where users are able to participate in the website content because it was dynamic. And the use of metadata became prevalent. And a simple example of metadata in a document might include a collection of information such as the author, the file size, the data, the document, the date the document was created, and the keywords that actually describe this document. And an example of using metadata for a music file might include an artist's name, the album, the year it was released, etc. So other attributes such as openness, freedom, and collective intelligence by the way of user participation can also be seen as an essential attribute of Web2. Now, the usage of Web2, there were many different online tools and platforms where people shared their perspectives, opinions, thoughts, and experiences. And Web2 applications tended to interact much more with the end user. And this makes the end user not only a user of the application, but also a participant in that engagement. And you probably use some of these tools every day. We all know about podcasting, about blogging, tagging, curating with RSS, by social bookmarking and social networking, and social media and web content voting, etc. And now lastly, where we headed is into Web3. And in summary, Web3 is an idea, it's a concept for a new version of the World Wide Web based on the blockchain, which incorporates concepts that include decentralization and token-based economies. Also known as the semantic web, it's an extension of the World Wide Web through standards set by the World Wide Web Consortium. And it promises to establish the world's information in a more reasonable way, to present it like that. And the goal of the semantic web is to make the internet data machine readable. I'm going to just discuss five main features that can help you understand Web3. Web3 improves web technologies by allowing us to create, share, and connect content through search and analysis based on the capability to comprehend the meaning of words rather than just on keywords and numbers. So when you combine this capability with artificial intelligence and natural language processing in Web3 computers, they can become more and more intelligent to better fulfill the requirements of users. And they learn to distinguish information like humans in order to provide faster and more relevant results. So in the case of 3D graphics being used more and more to give users a more real experience that resembles what we would see in the world around us. And some examples are in the video games that we have, 3D and 4D movies, architecture walkthroughs, maps, museum experiences, illustration, engineering designs, etc., etc. The semantic metadata enables greater connectivity in Web3, and as a result, the user experience has evolved to another level of connectivity that leverages all of the available information coming in. Content becomes ubiquitous and is accessible through multiple applications with every device connected to the internet, allowing you to move seamlessly between your devices. And we do this every day, moving from our mobile phone to our computers to our iPads. It's so easy to switch between the devices. A lot of this will be accomplished with the apps that now have access to Web3 backend, which opens up more potential for decentralization. And when this all started, initially developers tried to decentralize their apps to the maximum extent possible. But time has shown that it's actually too idealistic due to the slow and unresponsive nature of present-day blockchains. It looks like Web3 apps will still use Web2 infrastructure for much of the functionality for a while to come. And an example of this is Uniswap and other popular DeFi apps that host their front ends on centralized servers, and their domains are actually bought in centralized DNS hosts. So we are in the middle ground between Web 2 and Web 3, and this is where Forward fits in. So what does Forward do? Forward makes blockchain easy for you to use and understand. So if you're a developer, you can use Forward to deploy your creations and to profit from it. Other platforms can use Forward to reduce the barrier to entry and to get to the market sooner without large capital outlays or long development timelines. And other blockchains can integrate with Forward Chain for platforms to quickly deploy them in a click. Other blockchain technology can integrate with Forward Factory and provide a solution to our users. So Forward doesn't compete with anybody. In fact, we collaborate with everybody, and we encourage this collaboration. We make things simple, and we connect the traditional business world with blockchain using no-code toolkits. And we make the dream of blockchain adoption practical. It's easy. If it's easy for you to use it, we know that you're going to use it. Something that's native and intuitive. So I invite you to come and join us, reach out to the team, and let's move forward together.